from Psalm 24. I'll read the first 6 verses of Psalm 24 out of the NIV. The earth is the Lord's, and everything in it, the world and all who live in it, for he founded it on the seas and established it on the waters. Who may ascend the mountain of the Lord? Who may stand in his holy place? The one who has clean hands and a pure heart, who does not trust in an idol or swear by a false god. They will receive blessing from the Lord and vindication from God their Savior. Such is the generation of those who seek him, who seek your face, God of Jacob. Verses 3 and 4 declare to us that if we want the access to the presence of God, it takes right actions and right attitudes. Clean hands, pure heart. Right actions, right attitudes. That's how we get into the presence of God. And then verses 5 and 6 tell us that such a people get a reward from the Lord. In fact, verses 5 and 6 talk about reward as the mark of a generation that wrestles with God to obtain blessing. Now, I could go on about Genesis 32 and Jacob wrestling in the valley with the angel of the Lord, but suffice it to say that God was pleased to be called the God of Jacob. Jacob wrestled with God to obtain blessing. He didn't always do everything right. He made a bunch of mistakes in key moments, but his heart was set toward God, and God gave him a rich reward for that. So here's the encouragement for today. God has your future in hand. You focus on having right attitudes and right actions. God will focus on blessing your life as you trust in him. Psalm 24 ends by imagining the entry of this glorious king into the city. The verse, who is this king of glory? The Lord, strong and mighty. The whole end of the psalm imagines the entry of the glorious king into the city. Our God is the strongest king, and we should be awestruck when we think of him. And because he is the most powerful king, we should trust that he has our future figured out. And that future is bright as we trust in him. Because what is the ultimate destiny of every believer? The ultimate destiny of every believer in Jesus is to be conformed into his image and his likeness. So God, because he knows that to be the case, has our future well in hand. He has worked out the details as we trust in him. That's our job. We focus on right attitudes and right actions, and God works on his part to do what he can do, what only he can do. That's an encouragement to you from Psalm 24. Keep trusting in God. You do what you can do, and let God do what God does.